historic cricket series win in the West Indies. An action-packed third day of the fourth test belonged to Steve Waugh with a brilliant double century, his first in test cricket.
The scenes at the end of day three certainly told the story. The Australians jubilant, the West Indian supporters devastated, in shock, and it was all because of a brilliant double century from Steve Waugh. Australia began the day slightly on top, but Waugh made sure the visitors pressed home their advantage. With some help along the way from Greg Blewett and Paul Rifle, Australia made a whopping 531. At one stage, it appeared Waugh may be left stranded short of his double century. But the last batsman, Glenn McGrath, hung around long enough.
Kenny Benjamin is not the fastest of fielders in the West Indies team, and they'll come for the fourth, which will bring him up his 200.
Waugh was besieged by Aussie supporters, some with footy jumpers, others with cameras. There were also didgeridoos, boxing kangaroos, and even a fat cat. Yes, former Australian batsman Greg Ritchie even got in on the act. A short time later, Waugh's mammoth innings, which lasted 9 hours and 10 minutes, came to an end. Even then, he didn't want to leave.
I've had a lot of tough times against the West Indies, like most batsmen. I think when you get the opportunity to make a big score, it'd be crazy not to try and get as many as possible. So I was pretty determined today to try and get a big lead, because I know the wicket's going to play a few tricks in the last couple of days, and we're definitely in the box seat now.
Just to put the icing on the cake, Paul Rifle came out and grabbed 3 vital wickets, including the prize scalp of Brian Lara for a duck.
Oh, he's hit straight in front of him, he's gone!
By stumps, the Windies still trailed by 203 runs with only 7 wickets left. Only a disaster can now stop the Aussies from becoming the first team to win a series in the Caribbean for 22 years.
Steve Waugh, followed by a masterful bowling performance by Paul Rifle, has set Australia up for a series win against the West Indies in Jamaica. The tourists amassed 531 runs, a lead of 266. Then Rifle grabbed 3 quick wickets before stumps to have the home team reeling. Jim Wilson reports.
The Australians were looking to extend their lead this morning, and under enormous pressure, Greg Blewett responded to the challenge.
Well, he's put that away very well.
But on 69, Blewett underestimated a Keith Arthurton long hop.
Well taken, he's got it.
Waugh continued to cop blows to the body, but after 6.5 hours in the middle, he reached 150.
There it is.
Waugh has been on the receiving end this series, and the Windies' pace battery was relentless today.
Oh, the arm, the wrist, the hand, all the fingers, they're all a bit sore, but I mean, you know, when you get 200, there's not too much pain there.
Rifle contributed a valuable 23, but he fell to Ken Benjamin. 2 balls later, Warne followed. McGrath, though, survived long enough, as Steve set his sights on a double century.
What a magnificent effort.
Aussie fans couldn't contain their delight. This was a moment in Australian cricket to savour. With a lead of 266, the Australians made a stunning start to the Windies' second dig, removing Richardson. Then the prize wicket of Lara, the victim of a rifle shooter.
Oh, he's hit straight in front of him, he's gone!
But there was worse to come for the home side, rifle to Williams. With Vaughan beginning to extract plenty of turn, the signs aren't good for the Windies. Beat the West Indies in a test series on home soil. At Sabina Park in Jamaica.
Drought when it won the test series against the West Indies. The Aussies won the 4th and deciding test in Jamaica by an innings and 53 runs, with Paul Rifle and Shane Warne taking 4 wickets each. After the game, Aussie skipper Mark Taylor dedicated the victory to former captain Alan Border.
With the pitch looking like a lunar landscape, batting was always going to be difficult. And with the sun shining, Aussie hopes were high. But lack of concentration early saw the chance of removing both batsmen go begging.
Yeah! He's put it down.
But once again, Steve Waugh came into the picture, taking a sensational catch to remove Adams.
Gone, brilliantly caught. Stephen Waugh.
The Windies then looked to Carl Hooper, who helped them pass the 100. While Healy was taking no chances on a deteriorating wicket. The Aussies then thought they'd made another vital breakthrough, but the decision went in Benjamin's favour. The visitors shocked by the controversial decision. By lunch, the home side had clawed its way to 4 for 128. Night watchman Benjamin went on to notch a gutsy half-century, but next ball his innings was cut short.
Confident appeal he's given him.
While there was no sign of rain, umbrellas still became the order of the day. But the sun didn't bother Julian as he produced a magnificent piece of fielding to send Hooper on his way.
The hurry. Called for it. Carl Liebenberg's called.
The home side looking down the barrel, 6 for 140, still requiring 125 runs to avoid an innings defeat. Healy surprisingly blotted his copybook for the second time for the day, while Arthurton and Ambrose didn't put up much of a fight, both falling victim to Warne.
And he's given him. Almost stumped. And
Courtney Walsh tried to make light of the situation, but again Warne spoiled all the fun.
It's in the air. Blewett's under it and he's taken it.
The ground security were giving the visitors more trouble than the Windies batsmen. The smell of victory was in the air, and it wasn't long before skipper Mark Taylor fittingly took the winning catch.
It's been caught by Taylor. How appropriate is that? Warne, everybody gathering to hug Taylor and Warne. Simpson.
I'm just ecstatic, Michael. I'm very proud of them. They've just done Australia proud. You know, it's just a very special moment for all Australians, I suppose.
Today had to be the most proudest man in world cricket. It's been far too long since Australia have had their hands on this trophy. I feel very honoured that I'm the captain of a side that has finally won this back after some 20 years.
Warne, you having a good time?
Why not, mate? Why not?
May the 3rd, 1995. It won't be a date that I'll forget for a long, long time.
And each one found me aimless. One more year, the worse for wear. And I've been back to Southeast Asia.
Not surprisingly, Steve Waugh was named man of the match as well as player of the series.
Yeah, it's been a great series. I couldn't have dreamed that it would have gone any better, personally and for the team. We've shown a lot of courage and commitment during the series, and it's been a great victory. The best I've ever been involved with.
The only sour note, the unsportsmanlike attitude West Indies captain Richie Richardson took, failing to acknowledge the Aussie performance.
Well, I'm very, very disappointed. I cannot believe that we allowed Australia to beat us. In my opinion, it's the weakest Australian team that I've played against, and I think that we allowed them to beat us because we didn't play well, we didn't bat well at all in the series, and because of this, they took the series from us.
Aussies, the new kings of world cricket. Cricketers in the West Indies as they claimed the title of world champions in scenes reminiscent of the Ashes and America's Cup wins. It may have taken 15 years to knock the all-conquering West Indies off their perch, but the Aussies today did it in emphatic style. Jim Wilson was there to savour the moment.
There have been some great moments in Australian cricket, but this was the ultimate, the holy grail of world cricket. And the Aussies had their hands on the Sir Frank Worrell Trophy.
Cannot be any happier, I don't think. I think I'd have to be the happiest and proudest man in world cricket at the moment.
For Mark Taylor, Jamaica will go down as the highlight of his career. He captained superbly, and he was rewarded with the trophy that eluded the likes of Alan Border and coach Bob Simpson, who was doused in champagne in the Aussie dressing room.
To win in the West Indies, against the West Indies, I think is a pinnacle, certainly in my coaching career. And, you know, the blokes have just done everything that's been asked of them.
It was appropriate that Taylor snare the final catch to dismiss Ken Benjamin.
And he's gone! And that's it, and it's been caught by Taylor.
He grabbed a stump and a ball as prize mementos of this grand occasion. Australian fans swamped the ground and the flags were flying. Steve Waugh was named player of the series, and surrounded by supporters and players, he took his new car for a spin around Sabina Park.
This is just beating the West Indies in the West Indies. It's a great experience and something I'll never forget.
The West Indies hadn't been beaten in a home test series since 1973. Windy skipper Richie Richardson, though, wasn't that complimentary of the Australians' performance.
I cannot believe that we allowed Australia to beat us. In my opinion, it's the weakest Australian team that I've played against, and I think that we allowed them to beat us because we didn't play well.
The Australians came to the West Indies desperate to win the Sir Frank Worrell Trophy. Tonight that mission is accomplished, and it's now time for a giant-sized party.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want.
And he's gone! And that's been caught by Taylor.
You can get it if you really want, but you must try. Try and try.
Today I have to be the most proudest man in world cricket. It's been far too long since Australia have had their hands on this trophy.
You succeed at last.
Wow, that's unbelievable, and yeah, hard to believe it's happened. It's a dream for most of us.
Mate, I'm bugging. Can you say that on TV? Yeah, it's been a great series. I couldn't have dreamed that it would have gone any better, personally and for the team we've played.
It's the sweeter the victory now. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. But you must try. Try and try. Try and try.
The arm, the wrist, the hand, all the fingers, they're all a bit sore, but I mean, you know, when you get 200, there's not too much pain there.
And they'll come for the fourth, which will bring him up his 200.
I don't like cricket. Oh no. I love it.
I cannot believe that we allowed Australia to beat us. In my opinion, it's the weakest Australian team that I've played against, and I think that we allowed them to beat us.
Fantastic opposition. They've been, without a doubt, the best team over the last 10 to 20 years. We've finally beaten them after many, many moons.
I don't really like to upset people. I don't like to hurt people's feelings. But if we play anywhere close to our usual standard, I don't think Australia would have beaten us.
Ooh, the harder they come, the harder they'll fall. Wanna know